Hello friends, this is Olga, mature medical student, and in this video I want to tell you about some current news from Ukraine. Of course, I'm watching very precisely all news from Ukraine. I'm very connected to my country, and so for this reason I may tell you for the main things that are disturbing, that are important for Ukrainians and for Kyivites during this month, I would say, or these days. The first thing that are the most discussed now is, of course, the summit of the peace in the Switzerland we having this weekend, and a lot of Ukrainians, they are asking experts and experts from international policy, international relationships, what was the purpose for Ukraine of this huge gathering. All explanations that is the event as it is at itself very noticeable, and this event shows the support of Ukraine worldwide if the communication with Russia is needed, because the Russia thinks that Ukraine is weak. So of course, even the closer to the war end, Russia will try to finish it on own conditions. But this gathering, this summit, gives Ukraine stronger position and all support of the civilized world, mostly Western world. And so in this case Ukraine will have like a stronger position than Russia, and will not give the opportunity create some demands or conditions how this war should be ended. It also have some sad I would say sediments on the Ukrainian soul. I would say because Ukrainians they don't want some interactions, some communication with Russians now, just because if this war will be stopped and some communication will be initiated, that means that the parts of Ukrainian territories were occupied will never return to Ukraine, or in the nearest future they will be not returned to Ukraine. And most of Ukrainians, they are not ready to accept this idea. They want to return all territories. And in this light, in this point of view, of course, this summit of peace and some like starting point, starting to search this decision how to stop this conflict. Of course, it's necessary to do that, but it's also some kind of sad for Ukrainians that probably some territories will be not returned, and it's really sad actually, and for me personally too, in some reason. And also what I am reading now from Ukraine, from my city, from Kyiv, that is the problem of the electricity and its insufficiency is really serious. The last month there was a lot of blackouts in Kyiv, and they were controlled by government, so there's not much of electricity. And the system is very damaged, and those powers that are still working, power plants, or I don't know, the electricity facilities, they are overloaded. It's not enough. Even some assumption that Kyiv will have really hard times during this winter. And if they will not economize the electricity now during the summer, these hard times really will come, really happen to Kyiv. So it's necessary things, and for this reason yes, now it's not very good time to visit the capital. However, during these days, there are a lot of different messages on the Ukrainian drones that reaching Russian airports. They attacking oil industry, they attacking some plants and other facilities of Russia, and actually it's kind of strategical things. There will be no possibility to produce the petrol, the fuel for Russia. After those attacks, they minimized the export because with no fuel, they will not have possibility to move their military equipment. So that is that Ukrainian side decided to destroy oil industry, and petrol producing the facilities of Russia is very, very smart. So from this point of view, Ukrainians, they still have hope that nothing is that bad. Maybe we can get and return some our territories back. And it's the biggest hope, I think, for Ukrainians now. At least the experts say that it's possible to return the Kherson, Zaporizhia region, and even maybe Crimea, because Crimea, as it almost the island, it's really vulnerable. But the Donbass is not, because it's connected by land, solid land with Russia, with Russian border, and a lot of railway. The most developed, I would say, is the net of the railway in Europe. So Russians, they use the railway to delivery shells and fuel and food, everything to the front line. And it's very hard there to get rid of those pathways they're using. Anyway, now I see that a lot of airplanes are damaging by Ukrainian drones, and especially noticeable that some drones of Ukraine, they started to reach really farthest Russian places, like more than 1,500 kilometers deeply in Russia, like Tatarstan or other. So it's really far from Ukraine, but the Ukrainian drones, they reach that. Also now Ukrainian drones, they try to attack the anti-missile air defense system, as our, once again, military say that it's not much Russia have of them. And actually it's the problem of Russia, because Russia have very huge territory but not enough systems to cover all this territory. Basically it's not possible. They need like millions of them or something, and they haven't. And also there are some news from Crimea. They are not very loud and essential, but they are very pleasant. Maybe you heard about such a movement as a yellow strip. So this is the movement inside of Crimea of the Crimeans that are waiting for Ukrainians for return of Ukrainian government and laws on the territory of Crimea. And so there are a lot of different tiny signs. The Crimeans, they are waiting for Ukraine there, maybe not all, but a lot. Those people are really brave. Even those small gests, when they just writing on the camera that Ukraine, the Crimea is Ukraine, and immediately burn that paper, it's really brave steps actually, because the Crimea is super militarized. And when I was in Crimea due to my job in the 2015, I came, and it was first year of Russia, presence of Russia on the territory of Crimea, and people were quite scared, those that I came too. And they also told that soon there will be Russian police, and this Russian police, they will come into every apartment, I want to repeat, and every institution, and they just want to say hello. And actually it was not that pleasant for me, person who came from Ukraine, from the major part of Ukraine to occupied Crimea, that some Russian police will ask and want to know who are you, where are you from, what are you doing here, and saying hello. Luckily I didn't meet them, but it was scary a bit actually, because I know that Russian police is cruel. I saw that during we passed the so-called border between Crimea and major part of Ukraine, and Russian police was it was like you know, some cruel policemen with the prisoners and those kind of things. They in that way they communicated with the people who just want to cross the border. So yeah, in these conditions, Crimeans who are still showing that sign to Ukrainians that they are waiting for Ukraine there, they are very brave. I usually follow, and I think most of Ukrainians follow daily. It is the front line, how it changed, what are successes of Ukrainian and Russian army. And these days, these months, I would say every day we are receiving the news that some village, some part of village, some tiny, I don't know, some 20 meters, the 200 meters, they were captured by Russians. And so Russian army is still going forward. A noticeable event that Russia attacked suddenly from the border the Kharkiv region that was freed from Russia actually previous year, almost all, and now they do it once again. And some soldiers or officers from that direction, they told that actually they are using that even not able to don't know how to use properly their weapon, the guns, and they are already sent to attack Ukrainian positions. So even on the first days of war, the Russian soldiers were more prepared than those who attacked Vovchansk now. So it means that Russia doesn't have there is not everything perfect in Russian army, and it also gives some tiny hope for Ukrainians that maybe their situation will be better for us, that they will be return those villages, those part of the villages back to Ukraine. Also, I must mention in this context the losses of Black Sea Navy of Russia. As I understood, they lost about 30-35% of their ships, their warships, and actually the northwestern part of the Black Sea, closer to Odessa, is dangerous for Russian ships, so they are not attending that part, but they try to be between the eastern part of Crimea and shores of the Russia, of Black Sea. And this also gives some hope that Black Sea will be freed from the Russian, how to say, the rain ship. And it's a very unique situation because actually Ukraine doesn't have much navy. Black Sea Navy was left after USSR fall, was given to Russia. So Ukraine doesn't have much ships, and after the Crimea were captured, the Ukrainian ships, not numerous, become Russian. so Russian captured them. And now Ukraine doesn't have ships, but we have the sea drones that are really annoyable and very dangerous, small, deadly weapon for the Russian warships. And yeah, that's why Ukraine wins on the battle on the Black Sea. But anyway, I understood that the major battle, the final of this war, will be not on the sea but on the plain land. So Russians still have the possibilities to move on a bit. Destruction and damages of the Black Sea Navy is like a pleasant plus, something that gives some confidence that we can be creative, we can create and make new decisions how to change this war by smaller powers, but by creativity, and to fight effectively. I hope you found something interesting for yourself. I wish you peace, all the best, and see you next time. Bye.